Officer Aaron Hamer, and I work for the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, and I'm currently a public information officer. It's currently 2017, and we thought as an office that we would reach out to our officers who are currently working the street or in investigation as well, to see what is that one thing that has them remembering why they continue to show up to work every day, why do they continue to investigate after case after case and after case. And the common theme that we've seen is that it's because of the community at large, and we wanted to make sure that we highlighted it not only internally to our officers, but as well to the community at large. So #remember. So what would you say to younger officers who are in the department who may feel like, man, I've been on for 5 to 7 years and it's tough? What would you say?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It can be very difficult. But being a street cop is not really a job as much as it is a calling. And you just have to stick with it. I mean, nobody gets up every day and just jumps into their uniform and skips to work. I mean, some days it's hard. And some days you just have to have that conversation with yourself that, you know, I'm going in, what I do is important, and I'm necessary, and you just go and you do it. Sometimes if you think about it too much, I think probably if you think about it too much, you wouldn't do this, because it's, you know, it can be dangerous, but it can also be very rewarding. And so it's just, I mean, I don't know anything else. But I think if you stick with it, if your inclination is that this is what you want to do, and you stick with it and you work through those times when things seem difficult, you'll come out on the other end and you'll think, I'm glad I stayed, because we work with great people. You know, the department is full of great people. It's been very rewarding meeting and getting to know all these people, and then plus the people you meet out here when you're working. So just hang in there. And don't give up. That's what I would say.
This series is based on remembering like why we do what we do, motivating our officers. We get a chance, as street beat officers, we get a chance, on the department period, but on beat officers especially, we get a chance to work with some really, really cool people. Yeah. Who have been some of the people in your career who kind of stuck out?
Well, you know, it's been a long career. So initially, after I came out of training, I came out here to Frank Sector, which is the swamp, and I worked with John Morgan, Ron Humbert, Richard France, my husband, King Fisher, just a ton of people. It was great. They knew what they were doing. They made it fun. They taught me a lot. And then as we progressed on, they left. My mainstay, Mark Decker, he's the legend out here. Him and I have been working together forever. And then more recently on day shift, I have had the most fun with Fred Hamer, Greg Racino, Tom Figura is a blast. Chris Markham is steady as you go. He is one of these guys where he just gets the job done. And he's not real flashy. All these guys just work. They're not all about, you know, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing. It's just about getting the job done. So East District Day Shift's a great group of people. Our supervisors are excellent. And, you know, there's room to have a lot of fun out here and still get your work done. So that's been one of the best things about this job is the people that you wouldn't normally meet if you did something else.
So what has been the highlight of your career?
Well, I don't want to sound corny, but I met my husband, the King, on this job.
The King?
King Fisher, my husband. We've been married many, many years. I met him on Frank Sector, and that was it for me. And so it's hard for me to separate this job from him because it's just, to me, I love both of them, so it's just kind of integrated. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to be corny, but that was the highlight of my career, was meeting King. And like I said before, you meet incredible people in the police department, and I met the most incredible person. So
obviously King was a police officer.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What are some things that you would say to people who are married to police officers, or making sure there's a proper balance with home life, work life?
Yeah, exactly. King has been retired 10 years, but he was in K-9 prior to that for 25 years. But we don't take the work home with us. That's one of the things I love about being a patrolman. You come in, you do your 8 hours, then you're done, you go home. And you try not to think about it. You don't take it home with you. You have to have a balance. Work needs to be work. Home needs to be about your family and your life. So we always worked hard. We worked different shifts so that we could raise our kids. One of us was always there, and we just made that a priority. And it has worked for us, but I would say it's been probably beneficial that we were both police officers because we sort of know what we've been through. King was shot back in 1993, and that was a hard time. And it probably would have been even harder if I were not a police officer. But if you're not married to a police officer, you need to be patient with them because they don't really understand what you've seen and what you're going through. So, you know, it just takes communication, I think, is the main thing. So
after 32 years, you're hanging up your career of policing this area, 10th and rural primarily. What do you want to say as a lasting impact for our officers and our community?
I don't know. This is home to me. Obviously, I've been here the whole time, 32 years. It's home to me. These people are family. It's important that we are here and we're part of this community. Even though I don't live here, I'm here 8 hours a day. So it's important that we're part of this community. And I don't know, I just want to say to officers, what we're doing is important. This is important, and don't ever forget that. And just try to remember to do what you have to do, when you have to do it, so that you can go home at night. And this job is a blessing in so many ways because you have the ability to be so compassionate and caring and help people. But don't forget that not everybody is your friend out here. So you have to be able to take care of yourself and your partners, and that means that when you got to get rough and ready, you got to get rough and ready. But you know, so just don't ever forget that. Just always be on the lookout, but don't forget that there are a lot of people out here that just need, you know, your kindness and compassion and your help. But I guess that's all I would say. I just have always liked it out here, and I don't understand why anybody wouldn't enjoy this. But I can honestly say that I'm going to miss this a great deal. This has been 32 years. I could do more. I could stay longer, no problem. But I think it's time for me to go. I think it's time for somebody else to move up in here, and somebody younger and quicker.
That's good.
So.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.